If you want to speak for women, now I want to make this very clear because there's been some talk about parents and there's been some quite nasty talk about parents. And I just want to tell any single parent that isn't dealing with a bloody primary school age child, in which I really don't think you have any excuse. But let me tell all of you parents of teenagers and all of you people that work very closely with teenagers or adolescents who think they're trans, whatever that might mean to them. Let me make this really, really clear. You use whatever language you think will save your child from that cult. Personally, I think that not using language is much more powerful, but I'm not a parent to your child. I'm not trying to save. I'm not going to bed at night hoping that my child diverts away from the path of puberty blockers, breast binders, calling themselves a different name, and eventually being sterilized and having their womb removed. So let me tell you right from this moment onwards, if you didn't know already, I stand solidly with parents. I have sat in a room, and if you guys don't know this, I will repeat it again. I'll repeat it again. I went to the United States of America 3 years ago, and I went to the Heritage Foundation. I just went. I wasn't invited. It wasn't my event. It's somebody else's event, and the person hosting this event was hosting it on behalf of parents. It was an actual parent who organized the entire event. Now, I went into this huge room at the Heritage Foundation, not where the panel was, but at the Heritage Foundation, as a guest of these women. And I thought that they were part of the Heritage Foundation. So when they went in and they were all saying, oh, Posey Parker, and I can't believe you're here, I was thinking, oh, I didn't realize that right-wing Christians were such a massive fan of mine. And then I sat down and I introduced myself because we were all asked to introduce ourselves and why we're there. And I said something quite quick, and then it went around the table. And some of those women could barely speak. And some of those women were just so in the grip of grief. I can't tell you. I mean, maybe I'm quite lucky that I've never been in a room like it before or since. But I felt guilty for even welling up when they were telling their stories, because who the hell am I? Who the hell am I when these women are talking about their daughters' wombs being removed, their daughters having voices? They'll never hear their daughters' voices again. I mean, these things I don't think we even think about. They will never hear the true voice of their daughters ever again once they take testosterone. They will never see their daughter's face as it should be ever again once they take testosterone. They will never again see their daughters with healthy bodies the way they are supposed to be once they take testosterone, once they have surgeries. Let me tell you, parents, I would never, ever, ever dare to tell you how I think you should speak about your children or to your children when you are facing something that, dear God, and I don't even believe in God, but dear God, I hope I never have to face. So I want to make that very clear. When it comes to who I stand with, those women in that room that day, honestly, I can't. Those women in that room that day, I stand with them before I stand with nearly anyone. I stand with them. So I just want to make that clear that it's not even, it's no hesitation. I would sell my soul to the devil himself, and I don't believe in God, but I would sell my soul to the devil himself if it meant I could save any one of my children from this cult. So I just want to make a very public statement about that, because I find the attack of any parent, of a teenager, of a child that they can no longer control, have no control over, because we don't. we just hope that we've done the best we can and it's all right by the time our kids are teenagers. That doesn't mean we stop being parents. That just means that if we've really royally messed up up to that point, there's very little you can do once your teenagers have absolutely loved whatever cult, whatever grip of whatever they're in. It's very, very difficult to get out of. And parents, I'm with you 100%. Whatever you feel is the best thing to do for your child, beyond actually medically eradicating their bodies or doing any of that, because that is never the answer, then I firmly stand with you. I just really felt there's some things that have been going on lately, and I just really wanted to make that very clear, that's my heart was forever changed in that room. If you ever think that parents of teenagers are doing it wrong, that when their kids are sucked up into this cult, whether they're 13, whether they're 19, just spend an hour or even 5 minutes listening to a parent talk. They talk about grieving without death. They talk about losing their children without actually there being any death. It is just a terrible, terrible, terrible thing.